what's up? It's Kathy and I'm back with another process video, and this is another one of those ones that was kind of stuck on hiatus until I finished fixing my computer, which I think is fixed. Yay! Even after the last video when I said, oh, I think it's fixed, it wasn't quite fixed. But I think it's fixed now. And this layout was for Scrap Soup, which is a new challenge that is on the Paper Issues Friends and Fans Facebook page, which you can ask to join. And it's also, I believe, up on the blog, and we usually post stuff on Instagram about it. So this was my take, and you basically get a recipe, and it's different things. This time it was 5 circles, 4 pattern papers, 3 embellishments, 2 pictures, and 1 title. So you can do more than that on it, but you have to do at least the minimum. So I did definitely more than that because I put tons of circles on this, and as usual, I always use pattern paper, so that really wasn't an issue. I used 2 photos, and I technically only have the 1 title, though there are words on different things and papers and everything, but I did put a specific title on it as well. So I'm just kind of showing you guys my overall idea, which it does change a little because the striped paper goes down to the bottom. And I had a different concept for this when I started, and I actually could not find a paper that went with my concept. So I just kind of switched what my concept was. Originally I wanted a chevron paper, maybe with like a large chevron in the middle, and I was going to cut out a triangle in the middle so that it looked like a gigantic arrow pointing up, and then put my circles and stuff around there, but it just wasn't going to work out quite the way I wanted it to. So the striped paper is from Simple Stories. It was from the Posh collection. The back green paper is from a company called, and I have a lot of trouble pronouncing this, is it Tecturic? I'm not sure. It just happened to be green, which I wanted, and in my stash. So that was its 2 big callings for me. Because I didn't want to actually use up any of the new green stuff that I have, which is from Dear Lizzie, from her new collection. She has a really cute kind of limey green kind of paper with white polka dots, and I am, yes, hoarding that paper. So anyway, so I'm just going to use this as a background paper so that I don't have to worry about it, because it worked. Anyway. And it's got triangles, so it kind of all works out. So I'm kind of juxtapositioning harsh things like squares and triangles with their corners and sharp lines, with circles, which are a little bit more soft, and I am going to bring in a little bit of mixed media in the form of gelatos. I'm going to use my 6x6 paper pad from the Livermore collection. And I loved that it's that 6x6 paper pad actually says Live More. So that's what I meant by the secondary kind of title, is I'm going to use that paper, and I do want to make sure that that you can see stuff on it. But it doesn't have to be completely like that. Like I don't have to make sure everything's visible, just kind of some of it. Because I wanted to do some paint splatters at the end, and I was going to do black ones, and I had originally thought I was going to use black thickers, I brought in my favorite polka dot tissue paper. I always double it up just so that it can have a bit more, I don't know, texture, or I don't know, be a little bit more substantial. And I always like to rip some of it, even though I'm not the best at it. And I do end up using the black paint splatters, but I do not end up using black thickers. For my title, I end up using the kind of rose gold teal thickers or stickers, alphabet stickers that are from the Live More collection. Um, anyway, I cut out a lot of meat. Like I haven't even gotten this to the right place yet because the striped paper ends up down in the bottom corner instead of the top corner. So I haven't even done that yet. And this is already a long a long video on its own. So this one just, it took a long time for me to say, yes, that's what I want it to look like. Like, there we go. Now I finally turn it around, and I kind of do stuff with some of the papers and then realize that I didn't want them there and they were pointless, like that paper and stuff like that. So I do kind of cut out some of that process only because you don't need to see me doing that a lot. I am letting you know that I did do it so that you don't think that this process is super, super quick or easy. I think even the most experienced kind of scrapbooker definitely has that moment where they hum and haw and kind of struggle with what we're doing. And it's weird because to me it never makes any sense when I'm not sure what I'm doing, because I'm like, what does it matter what the design looks like? I mean, I'm just recording memories, but I still want it to look nice, as well as function as a piece of memory keeping. But I also still want it to be, I mean, you wouldn't make a wreath for your front door and then just throw stuff together and be like, haha, I'm done. Like you would design it. Same with anything else. So I kind of look at it that way. Like, this is my crafting outlet. It's a hobby, but it's also little works of art. I know I've mentioned this before, but I always look at my layouts as little canvases that I'm adding stuff to, which is why I like to get dimensional. It's why I like to bring in mixed media, different times and stuff like that. Or little things here and there that make it look a little interesting. I don't know, that's just what I like to do. I mean, things like putting the gelatos behind the circles, it's not a big deal. It could have done without it, but I like that look. So I'm not going to be bothered popping all of them up, though, on Pop Dots. I do pop a few up, but I am gonna. You're not gonna have to watch me do all this. But basically, the one that I did there that you saw, that's what I did with all of them. Now, I didn't have a pencil because heaven forbid I go look for a pencil. So I did not like trace the circle so that I knew where I was putting the gelatos. So this was a lot of looking and then going, is that in the right spot? And then making a circle and then having to make a bigger circle. And I definitely used my Tombow and my, what's that other one called? Glossy Accents to glue them down because I knew they wouldn't work. A dry adhesive would not work well. So that bottom little embellishment accent is actually from an older Pink Fresh Studio line, but it has green in it, and I really wanted to bring in a third kind of green because there's 2 green circles, but I didn't have 3 green circles. So I just thought that if I brought that in, and I do move it around, but it does end up being there in the end. But I just thought if I brought that in there, then I'd have my visual triangle of the greens, because that color definitely pops a lot. So, and I loved, like, I specifically picked only certain circles when I cut this out, and this was from the Paige Evans first line called Fancy Free. That's where all the circle ones came from. So I punched them all out with a large circle punch, and then I realized that was too many circles, so I had to punch a few down with a smaller one, just so that I have some various sizes. So that's why there's 2 different sizes, but I only picked certain colors. I wanted like a reddish, pink, blue, and the green. I don't know why I just wanted those 4 colors, but I did. So I picked, phrases that were kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. They're the pictures of my son and my daughter, and we went during March break to a place called the Happy Potter, where you go and you pay money and you get to paint your own piece of pottery, and then they fire it in the kiln for you, and you get it in like a week or 2 weeks. So they actually really enjoyed it. I was actually surprised. Sorry. Originally I was just going to be taking my son because my daughter had daycare, though he was off on March break and I was off with him. I had taken the week off, or I had taken a few days off or something. But anyway, um, we ended up not being able to go the day that we wanted to. I cannot remember what happened, but something happened. We couldn't go. So we ended up going on like a Friday evening. And of course, my daughter was available. And when she heard that we were going to go make crafts, like, there was just no way I was not taking her. So, so I took her, and I was worried about her going because of this. She's only 4. She was only 4 in March. She only turned 5 June 1st. So she hasn't been 5 for very long. But she did really well. She really loved it. He really loved it. I definitely think we will be going back at some point to do this again. It was fun. They love doing anything crafty and creative. So yeah, so that's what the pictures of. So that's why I just loved the little ones that was like awesome sauce and cool beans and crazy kids. That one was perfect. Those little circles. So I'm bringing in more Live More products and a few older Pink Fresh Studio. Those wooden hearts are from an older collection. I think Felicity. And I may use a few Dream On products. I'm not sure if I do. A lot of little phrase stickers, stuff like that. Those little rubber embellishments, and a little chipboard, one circle that's up with the other circles, and stuff like that. Just to kind of, but I didn't do a ton because there's already all these circles, so I didn't really need to. So that's originally the font I was going to use. That one, not the big, thicker one. Till I realized I don't think I have all the letters I needed for it. So in the end, I do switch it out, but I spell the whole thing out and put it up before realizing it's not going to work, of course. Heaven forbid I think it through off off camera before doing it. But anyway, I realized I wanted to have the, and that's where I think I realized that there was no other E for this this foam thicker set. I had used up all my other E's, so obviously it was not going to work. I think I'm just looking through now, and I'm trying to see if I can maybe cut a new E out of some other letter that I wouldn't use, but then I'm just like, nope, forget it. I'll just use the one that came with the Live More collection because there's already that kind of copper rose gold in some of the stickers, so why not bring it in with my letters and yeah, have that work. But of course I'm gonna use my black craft paint for my splatters, and I do kind of go crazy with my splatters because I just decide I want lots of splatters for this one. I think it was, mostly because it's a picture about doing art, so why not be kind of crazy and go crazy with the paint splatters. So I when I did this, I wasn't sure if I was happy with how it turned out. I just thought it was kind of haphazard and like a weird design, but I'm actually in the end really happy with how it turned out. Especially because I always forget to scrap these kind of imperfect photos where there's like a lot going on, or there's a lot of colors, or it's an activity or something, and I often scrap the little like everyday moment, little capture them smiling outside or something like that. But I always forget to do these ones, so I was happy to get to do that. And I did have to squish my letters together quite a bit to get it to all fit, but I'm not worried about it. Anyone who would think that was all one word, that's fine. Just pronounce it the way the way you think it might be pronounced. I really like those little letter stickers. They're really cute. I always like the stuff from Pink for Studio. And yeah, I had to get pretty much all of both of their collections. So anyway, I think I'm just off now looking for the rest of my stickers. But I don't really know if there's anything else that I have to say about it. I mean, if you have any questions, you just pop them down in the comments. I usually, eventually, will always reply to the comments. I try my best. It might take a few days, but I try my best. Anyway, it's going to take a little while for me to do my splatters because I want some big ones, so I have to let them drip. And I'm impatient, too. So, as usual, heaven forbid I just let it sit. But yeah, I really like how this one turned out in the end. Thanks you guys so much for watching, so much for sticking around waiting for me to get my videos uploaded. Thanks for subscribing and liking, and I'll see you in the next video. So pictures coming up. Bye.